How old is the Earth?
It just makes me laugh.
I don't even know if the mic's picking that up, but I'm breathing.
If it does.
Only by grace that we can get that. Another one.
I like that.
Another
then,
one.
I mean, you got to think, what is the animals that we're eating? I mean, that's gonna affect it too. But for us to have dominion over, so why would we just sit there and eat vegetables?
So it's the reason I asked that is because you hear these different ways the dinosaurs became extinct now. So
What?
little spoiler.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
That's how we're gonna start this one too. In the beginning, that's the name of this podcast, or name of this episode. That's what we're gonna call it. So welcome back. Hopefully you guys have been consistent. We're gonna try to post every Tuesday.
Dude, this is literally the second one. It's okay.
It's the second one. We're just trying to stay consistent in a pattern with it.
We're trying. We got stuff going on in our lives, so we might not make it to that Tuesday deadline, but we're gonna do our best to. And
Right.
if you see us looking at our phones, it's because we got our little notes on there. It's not because we're just like, I don't know, texting people.
We're actually filming this one before the first episode's even out, so
what?
Little spoiler.
Oh yeah. I got. So I know what you're saying. Now.
It's going to be posting this next Tuesday, so we're actually filming it this Sunday. So it's a little behind the scenes, but we're going to be going over the creation of everything. So there's a lot of things in Genesis, and by no means are we going to cover all of these podcasts.
I probably need to get to Genesis.
That would help. But the first thing I wanted to talk about, and I'm curious about your point on this, just because when we look at dinosaurs, all right, so I already know there's a couple, I've talked to a couple people about this, and they all have different answers. So to me, that was the thing I wanted to dive in real deep first.
I like my answer for it.
I do like his, which we'll get to in a second. But first I want to talk about is, I'm going to jump straight into the extinction of them. All right, they're dead. Do you think Lucifer falling was the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs? What's your opinion on that?
I'm not 100% sure on that one. And I mean, we'll never know 100%. We'll know. Well, we will at some.
Yeah,
but not while we're on this earth.
So it's the reason I asked that is because you hear these different ways the dinosaurs became extinct. I think someone said a flood before, but that wouldn't make sense because if they were alive, they'd be on Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
And then I heard, we'll actually pull up what our pastor said, and in Genesis,
someone said that the flood thing to me the other day. I think I don't remember who it was. It might have been you.
It's just weird to think that I don't think Noah would exclude them
unless it was part of God's plan.
Exactly.
Then maybe, but I don't think so. I think
said it
they were dead way before them.
But again, this comes to the question: then when does Lucifer fall? And it's really not specifically said in the Bible. One theory, again, it's not really proven, but it's believed to happen between verse 1 and 2 in chapter 1 of Genesis. So I'm going to go ahead and read that. And again, there's no found proof in this, but our pastor, I think I asked my pastor about this, or our pastor about this, and he said something about this, and it kind of perked my ears, but it says in the first two verses, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. So right there. In the second verse, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the earth, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So somewhere in between that is where a lot of people believe that Lucifer fell.
You said what?
And the earth was without form and void.
Oh no, you said the face of the.
The face of the deep. Yeah. That's my bad. Yeah. Mispronunciation. But face of the deep. So that's where I'm kind of curious. Is I wonder if you did fall. Again, it doesn't really say.
I don't think so. Not between those two verses, to be honest. Because it doesn't say anything about him making the crawling or whatever.
No,
it says in it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I feel like it would happen. He would have put it in there. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, obviously, it didn't say when he killed the dinosaurs, but that's just my thought process on it.
I've also heard, and this is kind of a little down the rabbit hole here, but Lucifer's not omnipresent, so he's not everywhere at once. He can't whisper in everyone's ears at one time. So you have devils, which are demons and stuff. But only one. I guess. High ranking.
It wasn't only Lucifer that fell, was it?
No, it was a third of the
angels. Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe it was like a bunch of them right there. Or maybe they did they all fall at once, or was it like staggering? I don't know. It's something to think about, though.
There's something.
But then you come to well, then did God create dinosaurs before Lucifer fell. Why isn't that said in the Bible? So it
I don't
it
think it was that important at that
exactly
moment.
that's what I was about to say. Best way I've heard the Bible explained is it was written uh, to us, not for us.
Yeah,
So we
it's
have
a
what we needed.
guideline.
Yes.
It's not going to tell us how to do
Hmm.
everything. It's just going to show us ways to get to a certain point.
So it's again, dinosaurs. Are they really needed? No, we don't need them to get to salvation.
No, no,
So
no.
it's just things that
Are
again
they
we'll ponder
needed?
about. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, technically they're needed,
that's
but
that's what I want to lead to
that's
next.
my point on this.
So I'll ask you this because we're heading down that road. Why do you think dinosaurs became
So,
extinct?
this is my whole little thought on this, and
I
we
agree.
we talked about it, and Hunter was like, "Why do you think you made them?" I was like, "Well, I mean, we use fossil fuels, and that's how we get around. God has a plan for everything. He knows exactly what's going to happen at every moment. So my thought is, he decided to put the dinosaurs here to die, and then become fossils, so we could use them.
Absolutely,
And
it
then
makes sense because again we don't have any use for dinosaurs. I don't see them having any use for them back then in the ecosystem. We clearly don't need them anymore because
I
our
mean, it's
ecosystem
going now.
operates. Yeah, so that like same thing like snakes. You know, you kind of do need them in a sense. I hate snakes. I
I do
wish they
too.
weren't here, but
Golly.
it's something you need for an ecosystem. But dinosaurs, you don't. So what's the point of them? Just to eat people back then? No, fossil fuel. So it makes sense that there was a purpose behind them, and what remains is the bones of them. Why God decided to leave the bones, I don't know. Maybe just to be like, look, little Easter egg for you. I don't really know, but it's something to again, it's something to think about. That God made these dinosaurs in the beginning. But while we're at the beginning, uh, I just want to see if we. I'm jumping ahead of myself here, but uh, I also want to talk about uh, if they did exist past then, Noah's Ark. Do you think that they were killed off quickly after Noah's Ark, or do you think they just never made it to Noah's Ark?
I don't know. I don't
Again,
know
it's
if they
hard to
made
say.
it.
Yeah,
If they did, then
I don't
I
think
mean,
they did either.
I I don't think they did. But if they were there, then there had to be that reason for God to
Yeah.
leave it.
So
We'll never know. Well, we will.
yeah, I want to jump to because this kind of has to tie in with it too. I want to jump into the very creation and how old the Earth is, but we'll say that for the second half of this, I guess. So the start of it, I have here written the Big Bang. Is it biblical? Uh, in a sense, it's hard to explain, but when God just used His word to create everything, do you think that'd be considered the Big Bang?
I don't.
You don't. Obviously, in a scientific
Not in a
sense, it's
way that
not.
people are
Yes,
saying, not
the
like
way they
the Big
believe.
Bang Theory or whatever.
We're
I think it happened just how God said it did. He
maybe.
spoke it into existence and it happened.
I don't disagree with that. It's funny how it's always like some justification because they can't even
Yeah.
prove it. It's a theory or a
They can't
hypothesis.
prove
Yeah.
theirs. I mean, we just have to have that faith. We
Mhm.
can't literally just be like, "Oh, this is exactly." We just have to have that faith, and that's the biggest part about being a Christian is
Mhm.
that faith.
I'd argue ours is, has consistency to it too. Like
Yeah, I mean, if you read through the Bible and see all the different
mhm.
things that happen, I mean, it lines up.
Yeah, there's I can't think of an instance where something came from nothing. From back then to now, there's no instance where something just uh, appeared magically in a sense. It was either all from divine, from God, or it was something that had a sequence of causes and effects.
That's one of the hardest things for me to wrap my
Mm,
head around is God
yeah,
just
just
being
being
there.
there. Yeah.
It's because if you think about it, a lot of people are like something has to have a
Mm,
beginning, but not for God, and that's the hardest thing for
yes.
me to believe. Well, not.
Yeah, but
I'm trying
the
to word
concept
it
of
right.
that
It's
it's
hard for me to
hard.
just be like, okay, that's how it is, and
So
that's where faith comes in. You just have to have that faith.
that's how I am with time because time wasn't around until God made it.
Yeah,
So it's like, well, we're
didn't have night, day,
yeah,
nothing.
yeah, and it's all the same to him. It's all at once. It's like whoa, because obviously we're not operating on that level of
We
being.
don't have that mind.
Yeah, we can't even comprehend it. I don't believe.
We'll understand it just like everything
Yeah,
else. We don't. We
after we
will never
pass.
know the answers to until we're with God or have the mind of
Mm,
Christ.
absolutely, and it's just crazy. So another thing I want to add about this, and I want to pull up this link I have, but one theory I heard,
Oh, I
and
just
it kind of
knocked the crap out of my
you're good.
mic.
One thing I heard, and Albert Einstein actually even agreed with this. Doesn't make it true, but it's something to consider. And it says that everything is vibrating. So all atoms, sound. Here I have sound, quantum mechanics, atoms, molecules, consciousness, energy. All these light, all these have atoms and molecules that are constantly vibrating. And I was wondering when I first heard that, I was like, it's on everything. What else is on everything? God. So I was wondering if literally we can kind of get into the whole breath that we breathe, but everything comes from God, including our breath. You know, the proper way to say Yahweh is just by breathing in and
Breathing.
out, and it's crazy to think
Every
that.
time you do that, it makes me laugh. I don't know
It's because
why.
you can't say it. It's just breath. It's the breathing in and breathing out.
Even though you're saying the right thing, it just makes me
Man,
laugh.
I don't even know if the mic's picking that up, but
And
I'm
funny
breathing.
if it does.
It's just crazy. And it goes just beyond our breath, our own breath. It goes into the trees. It goes into
Mhm.
the rocks. It goes into
Like
this earth.
everything on this earth is made for us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It's
God
all
had a
our breath.
reason to make the trees, the plants, everything. I mean, they take in the CO2 in it
Yeah.
and then
Or
turns it
yeah,
into
for oxygen.
oxygen.
Yeah. It's a network of things that it's like.
Everything works
Wow.
together
Yeah.
for us,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And the more you go into true science, I think carbon dating is a very good example of what not true science is. You know, saying, oh, this rock is uh, 50 million years older than this rock. It's like, well, how do you get the basis for that? It's a theory. It's something that you can
Yeah.
also look at the flood maybe speeding things up. The whole world was underwater. Grand Canyon is a good example of this too. Pangea possibly. The flood sped a lot of the Earth decay up. Uh, and speaking of speed up, how old is the Earth? This is a this one's going to be debated, I bet. But biblically, uh, going by the literal 6 day or 7 days of creation, technically one day being rest, the Earth is a little over 6,000 years old. So people are probably gonna be like, "What are you talking about? Where do you get this information?" Well, if you go through the genealogy, you can start in Genesis chapter 5. I'll pull one up for an example throughout it.
Yeah, you got this. I haven't really looked into it
Yeah,
that
so
much.
it's crazy to think about, but we'll go with verse 3. And Adam lived 130 years and begot a son in his own likeness. That's not a good example. Here we go. And the and all the days Adam lived were 930 years. So okay, yes, that is a good example. So there, Adam lived 130 years. So in verse 3,
930.
no, in verse 3, he lived
Oh,
130 years. So he had Seth at 130, and then we can see that in verse 5, Adam died at 930. And then Seth lived 105 years and begat, so this is when they're having their children. So going off the genealogy, and this goes all the way up to Noah, you can see when they had their kids and when that kid had their kids. So there is a timeline that you can build off this. And you get to around the flood, and the flood happened roughly around, this is all kind of estimations, but if we're going off the 7 literal day creation, it's around 2000 BC. So 2,000 years before Christ is when the flood happened. So going off that again, you'd have another 2,000 years would be when creation happened. So around 4,000 BC is when Genesis is believed to start biblically. Where do I get this flood? You can go from the flood. You can go to Exodus, where it counts how long the flood was from the Exodus. So it's these timelines that keep hitting. And eventually, you get to in Kings and First Kings and Second Kings and Chronicles and Second Chronicles, where history that we have documented starts to overlap. So, and again, you can just look at how far it was from Jesus, 2025. That's the year we're in. So it's this consistent pattern, and if we're going off by that, it comes out to around 4004, I believe, is when Earth was created, going off the 7 day creation, and then 2025 years from Jesus being born. So we're roughly at 6029, and that's crazy to think about. One theory I've heard about too is the millennial reign. So 7,000 years, the number of completion is 7. So there's a bunch of theories around it, but it's crazy to think about that. And again, I don't think if the Earth was made a million years ago, that would necessarily be inconsistent with the Bible. I do think it would be inconsistent with the Bible if you say man was created a million years ago, because the genealogy
Done
for
that up.
sure proves that it was 6,000. Now, the whole point of me saying the 7 day creation thing is because there's a verse in the Bible, I believe it's in First Peter, but it kind of
What are you
phrasing
talking
here.
about?
It says that a day for the
Oh
Lord
yeah,
is
yeah,
like
yeah.
1,000 years for man. So could that
I'll
six,
find
7
it.
day creation be yeah, if you pull that up, that 7 day creation be 5,000 years, 6,000 years? I don't know. Again, I don't think that's contradicting the Bible at all. It does contradict the Bible when you start to say the genealogy is lying, I think. But then again, maybe their system of how they measured years back then was a little different. I don't think it was though, because of the seasons, how seasons they measured off 4 seasons like we do now. But it's still something to kind of raise your eyebrows at and be like, how old is the Earth?
The verse that you're talking
Yes.
about is 2 Peter 3:8. Yeah.
Can you
It
read it?
says, "But beloved, but not ignorant, oh, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day." That's what you're
So
talking
yeah,
about.
it's and it's crazy to think that. So it's again, is this inconsistent with the Bible's teaching? No, I don't think if we go up to heaven and God was like, yeah, the earth is a million years old, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, your word, the Bible says differently. No, it doesn't directly say that. But I like to take it as a literal 7 days creation. Again, doesn't,
I like just flat 7,
yeah, it's a little
not
easier.
7,000, because I mean, God spoke it and it happened.
That's what I
That's
think.
my thought on it. It's not like God said it and then 1,000 years later, it's
Exactly.
there it
I don't
is.
think he had to sit there and ponder it like,
No, he knew
is
what he
this
wanted. He knew
exactly?
exactly what he was gonna do. So he just did it.
Absolutely. So there is consistency in that, and we'll kind of jump into this while we're here in Matthew chapter 5 or Genesis chapter 5. For that.
Oh, Matthew.
I
What?
actually recently talked about this, but we'll go off of the genealogy while we're on the kind of the years things.
Oh,
There's
you talking
actually
about the? Oh yeah,
there's actually a
he did
message.
a devotional about it at
I did.
church.
There's a message in the genealogy that many people probably do not know about. So I'm going to read the verses. It's about every 3 verses. We're going to be in Genesis chapter 5, and I'm going to go and say exactly what I said when I was up there. I am from Arkansas. I have Arkansas education and reading. So if I mispronounce these words,
You can't even say
I can't even say that right.
mispronounce.
If I mispronounce these words, forgive me and please follow along so you know what name I'm referring to. But there's going to be a little bit of reading here. So, chapter 5, I'm going to read verse 1 through 3 first. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth. So from here, we're going to be skipping about every 3 verses. So counting with 3. So we're going to go 3, 6, 9, 12. I'll say the verses before we go there,
Yours
but
does it like this.
no, it does not. So yours is a
Pretty
little bit
nice. Yeah.
cleaner than mine. Okay, but going to verse 6. And Seth lived 105 years and begot Enos. Verse 9. And Enos lived 90 years and begot Canaan. Verse 12. And Canaan lived 70 years and begot Mahalalel. Again, that's probably the one I butchered, but I think I said that right, hopefully. Verse 15. And Mahalalel lived 60 and 5 years and begot Jared. 18. And Jared lived 162 years and begot Enoch. And 21. And Enoch lived 60 and 5 years and begot Methuselah. Verse 25. And Methuselah lived 180 years, 80 and 7 years, and begot Lamech. Verse 28. And Lamech lived 182 years and begot a son. And he called his name Noah, saying, This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed. So you can kind of notice, I really hammered it right there. But these names have meaning. So Adam means man. Seth means appointed, because he was appointed to have generations come after him since the killing of Adam's son, Abel.
I think it's Mahalalel.
Mahala. Point being, the names have meaning. Noah means comfort in this, because he shall bring us comfort. Verse 29, what that says. So following that, if you go through the order, I'll pull up this diagram I have.
Cheater.
I am cheater. I don't have this memorized. But going through the names, we have this is again following the names of the lineage in the order. It goes man appointed, mortal sorrow, blessed God shall come down, disciplined, his death shall bring despairing comfort. So when I first heard about this, I was like, what? But when you read that, like like it's saying the Hebrew names, because the Jewish the Hebrews, their names meant something, which I'll get into a couple more here in a minute. But it literally tells about how man is going to fail. Our mortal sorrow, we're going to fail because we're sinners. But the blessed God will come down and die for us because he has disciplined a sinless life. He'll come down and give us the despairing comfort. So through this lineage, all the way in Genesis 5, we hear about Jesus coming down to die for us, which is wild. I think that's the earliest we hear about Jesus coming down and dying for us. Now there is, Jesus walked through the Garden of Eden, so Jesus was a reference before this. You can also see when, and we'll make mankind in our image. I think that's the first reference of the Trinity.
But I think what you're getting at is it's the first time that it's said that he's coming for us.
Yes. So it's wild to think about. But it's all the way in the genealogy of Adam and Noah that it talks about this. But you can also see something else I want to talk about is the names mean something. So, the Moses, he represented the law. He wasn't allowed in the promised land. So you can reference that as Moses' name being interchangeable with the law. The law will not get you the promised land. Only by grace that we can get that. Another one, in John.
Because you can't work for your salvation.
Exactly, can't work for your salvation. Another one is in John. I have to try to find the verse, but John weirdly wrote that he outran Peter to the tomb.
Yeah.
Why is that?
You talking about that?
Why does that matter? Like, why would you put that in the Bible? Because Peter means rock. John means grace. So the rock is associated with the law. So grace beat the law to the tomb. Hence, grace is what escapes death, not the law. So something to think about.
What's that verse? Isn't it Ephesians 3 something?
Where you won't work
grace.
Yeah, by grace are you by
what is that verse?
Faith through grace.
3:23 or something like that.
We can pull it up real quick.
I think it's Ephesians 3:23.
It's in Ephesians. But it's crazy that the Bible is people will say it contradicts each other, but you just got to read in context. You got to read I'm not going to say between the lines because it's not hidden, but it's something that
you have to. You just got to know. Oh no, it's not 3:23. What is it?
It's 4.
4:23.
Is it 4:18? I'm going blank on it too right now.
I should have probably studied it. I didn't think about it until you said something about it.
There's someone probably screaming right now, like, how do you guys not know this?
We're just he has this set stuff, and then I just throw random stuff in. So
we'll see how it goes.
It's 2:8. Okay. Okay.
Right there,
I wasn't that
We're in the
far
right book.
off.
Right book. That's all.
Is this for by grace are you saved through faith, and not of yourself? It is a gift from God. So that's the verse I was talking about. So stop yelling at your screen. Okay.
The gift of God, Jesus being coming down.
We're human.
We're human. What's the verse you always quote? Don't put your trust in human.
No. Man. So it's Psalms 118:8. It's actually the center verse of the Bible. Did you know that? Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
See, messages everywhere.
It's Psalms 118:8, and it says, "I'm gonna read it out of the Bible so I don't screw it up." It says, "It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man." And I like using that verse at work because don't put your confidence in me because I'm man.
Point being, Jesus is always there, and that's what I wanted to get out of the genealogy is that you'll hear people deny, Jesus, or there's some religions that claim that Jesus became God. It was set in stone. This was always the plan.
Godhead.
It was the purpose was always there. Beginning of the book to the end of the book, Jesus has a part to play. I also want to talk about before we stray away from the flood.
We got pretty far off topic.
We did. There's a lot to talk about in Genesis.
That's how my mind does it. I just hear something and it's like, that sparked something. So
I don't want to talk too much about the flood because that could be a whole other podcast about the flood and creation. We live in Arkansas. It's very hilly out here, and we have seashells at the top of our mountains. How does that happen? People would deny the flood. I think there's proof all around us of the flood. But what I want to talk about is what led up to the flood, and that is all the evilness that was accepted in the world.
All the stuff that's pretty much happening now.
Yeah, I want to ask you your opinion, and this is kind of going into end time, so
Me
we're
or
kind of
them?
you.
Oh,
This is kind of going into end time stuff. But do you think the Earth is close, evil wise, to how it was before the flood?
it if it's not already past that, to be honest.
I
Because I
think
mean, you
we're
see so much stuff that it talked about in the Bible, like all the evil and everything,
it's very
and
normalized now.
it's. I mean, people push it, and it's like it's not even happening. Like, let's just turn our gaze away from the Lord, and then make it to where it seems okay.
Yeah,
And I mean, there's stuff that I notice on a daily basis, and some stuff that I guess it got normalized, and I don't see it as much anymore. But
I think we're also very privileged to be in America.
we are.
Man, some of the stuff you hear about outside these countries, I started
To
sound of
the Christians.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
beheading them and stuff. I recently, you guys haven't ever heard of Sound of Freedom? You ever heard of that movie?
I think you talked about it, but I don't
So
remember.
I'm 30 minutes into it. I started it last night before
Oh,
I
I
went to
thought
bed.
you were gonna say you were watching it while I was eating.
But no, but it's about human trafficking and pedophilia.
Yeah,
Little kids basically getting human trafficked, and it's like wow. And the start of it, I don't know how it goes. This isn't spoiling anything. It's a Christian movie.
I think there's another one like that called Priceless. Have you ever watched that? It's by For King and Country.
Okay,
You know how they have that
yeah,
song
yeah,
Priceless? Yeah. And then they made a movie about it, and it's pretty much the same concept,
yeah.
I think.
But anyways, point being, what I was saying with that is that the police officers catch this pedophile that was trafficking them into the country, and they were talking, the police officers, and their jurisdiction can't go beyond the borderline. So all they can do is catch the people that are trying to harbor these kids, but they can't catch the people that are
Actually doing the
actually
crime,
doing it.
or not the
And
crime,
it's like,
but
uh,
I didn't even realize the cat was back there. It just jumped
photobomb.
up.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't caught that on, because it is in the frame,
I've been
it's
looking
been there the
every
whole
once in a
time.
while, but like it just hit me.
But it's crazy that again, you're not really going to hear about this. I know Tim Tebow talks about it a lot. I don't know if anyone keeps up with him.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about it a lot, but it's we are very privileged where we don't even have to think about this stuff on a daily basis.
But it's happening all
It's
around us, and we
happening
just
every
don't see
time.
it. Like there's so many weird things.
But I do believe like how open some of that stuff is. I do think we're getting close to, because back then they were just killing kids. I think what we're doing now is
It's
I think it's
about the
worse, to be
same,
honest.
yeah. If
We're
not worse.
torturing them in ways that, I mean, the Bible tells us to better to hang a noose around your neck right before
Yeah, I know what you're
damaging
talking
one of them,
about. I know what you're talking. You want me to
harming one
look
of
up
his
verse
kids.
on?
Yeah, I believe it's in Matthew, but Jesus wasn't messing around with kids either. He said, "Don't mess with them. It's better for you to die than to mess with one of my little ones." And
Hang a millstone.
yeah, hang a
That's
millstone around. Pull that verse up real quick,
that's
but it's
Luke 17. Go, come on. Why am I?
it's these study Bibles, man. They're big.
So it says, "It is better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and cast, or he cast into the sea, than that he should offend one of these little ones."
So it's something that
That's a verse you were
I
talking about, right?
believe that we're
That's one that Todd says a lot.
I believe we're man. The fact that we're just doing this so openly, well, not us, but people in the world, or outside of our country, even maybe sometimes even in our country, that gets brushed on the rug. I think we're at that point where we're getting close to how it was in the pre-flood days.
Yeah, I think we're pretty close to it.
So it's something to think about.
But that's something we can't go back and just see. I mean, we can
No,
read about it, but
yeah.
not.
Point being is, I would not be shocked if trumpets sounded fairly soon. Our prophecies are lining up like crazy, and it's just something to keep your eyes out on, especially in the Middle East
That's
right now.
another thing, though. No one knows the day or the hour,
No,
so we just got to keep on living life till it happens.
share with your friends, your family. Makes a difference, especially when we're getting closer to that
Don't
buzzer
be
beater.
left behind.
Yeah. Continue on. Let's try to boost the mood again here. I want to talk about this last major thing I want to talk about is the Garden of Eden. So, one, do you believe it was destroyed in the flood, or do you think it still remains somewhere?
I don't know.
It's
I
hard
don't
to
know. That's
say.
hard to say. I think I've heard stuff about it, but I haven't really done research on it because I mean it never hit my mind.
Because
But
it was protected.
isn't it? I think it's still guarded.
Yes, so that's
So
what.
I don't think it's destroyed. I just think it's probably the nicest place on this earth.
It's
But
yeah. I think it's somewhere
I'm
remote.
gonna bet
If it
it's
is
still
still there,
guarded though.
I believe it is too. I don't think. I don't know if it's a
That's
perfect
another
paradise.
thing. Man, we
Would
like
God
talking
destroy?
about stuff that nobody will ever know about.
It's just to get
It's
you
just his
thinking.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Like a while ago, you were saying something, and then I was like, "Why do you think Jesus came down here just for us, even though God can't even look on sin,
Yeah. Exactly.
but He could walk with us?" You know what I mean? That's
Well,
a crazy
yeah.
question, but it just hit my mind.
Some of
But
these things.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna. So the whole reason He came down is for us,
Yes. Always out of love.
obviously.
Yeah.
But
It's just
it
it's
was
crazy
just
to think
it
about.
just hit my mind, and I was like, "Dang, never thought about that."
Mm. There's a lot of love. I mean, all that he made. It was there's all purpose behind it, and he's willing to fight for it, even though we're fighting against him.
Yeah,
So it's wild
it's
to think
crazy to
about.
think.
Yeah. But I also heard I've heard people talk about how when it's all said and done, and the earth is renewed, the earth will be destroyed, and then I believe it's that New Jerusalem will be set on earth, as it should be. Do you think the earth will ever be like how the Garden of Eden was supposed to be like, or maybe during the millennial reign?
You're talking about what?
So after or during the millennial reign, I suppose, or maybe even after.
I don't know if you
Uh,
worded that weird or my brain just didn't
I
wrap
might have
around
worded
it.
it weird, but the Garden of Eden. Do you think it will ever be? The earth will ever be restored to how the Garden of Eden was supposed to be?
If God wants it to.
All right. I don't. I can't find that
You
answer.
can't.
It's 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 something to think about.
It
I
ain't
believe he
our
made it
choice.
perfect. It was our choice to sin and make ourselves leave it. But I believe it's paradise. I believe
Well,
the Garden of Eden was paradise. I think God would like to restore that to either the earth or the millennial reign when we're supposed to live the life that
I mean, just
He
think they
intended.
was walking around naked, and we can't even walk outside without shoes on.
Yeah,
So,
that's all to think about. There's like no thorns, probably soft grass everywhere.
oh,
But that's nice,
oh,
nice cool grass. It wasn't
it
105
wasn't
degrees outside.
105 degrees, and
Whew,
we
it's
were
hot.
working.
Yeah.
Man, that would be nice right now.
Yes, it would. So dietary there too. Do you think they needed meat, or you think the vegetation probably covered them, huh? Like vegetation there.
So you saying they didn't need to eat meat?
Do you think they didn't have to?
I'm gonna bet they did. To be
It,
honest.
I mean, they did sacrifice. They did sacrifice back then.
Well, my thought
But
is
that was
God put
after
all
the sin.
that for us to have dominion over. So why would we just sit there and eat vegetables? I don't know why I said
I love a
vegetables.
burger
Real
too,
weird.
so I hope that
But I
sounds right.
mean, that's something else. Like if all you're eating is that fruits and vegetables and stuff, it's not giving you everything that you need.
But do you think the fruit of the Garden of Eden was giving you everything you need? That's what it's
Oh,
like. Because everyone thinks of
I
like
don't know.
the fruit that caused Adam to sin was an apple, but it never says. And it's like maybe it was something we never even knew about,
That's
or
a
maybe it
good
was an
question.
apple.
I don't
That's why
know.
people.
Another one.
And now we got kicked out all the good
Golly,
fruits.
that's a good question.
It's just
But
things to think
I'm
about.
gonna bet we still ate meat, or not we, but they.
He did give us dominion, so you can't really argue with that.
You can't. Not whenever God gave us dominion over something.
In Leviticus, it also says, I believe it's things with hooves we're allowed to eat. There's certain things that we weren't allowed to eat.
Yeah.
Pigs, bottom feeders like shellfish, things of that sense. And
Now that's
we
fine.
we eat we eat it now. And when Jesus clarified that it was okay to eat things now, but it's something to think about that even like if you're trying to fix your diet, looking into again, don't restrict yourself to think it's a sin not to eat stuff like this, or to if you do eat seafood, like it's a sin. That's not the case necessarily.
It's not.
But the Levitical diet, it's there's benefits from it. I personally have looked into Dr. Josh Axe. I've been saying his name constantly lately because I've been really digging into him. He's a Christian doctor that looks at the spiritual growth and the biblical diet. He has a book called The Biblical Diet. I'll give him a free shout out.
I mean, really?
Yeah, it's very interesting what he has to say, and he shows it through the Bible. But the diet system in the Bible has incredible stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna try some of it. Granted, I am not.
Well, you gotta think none of the stuff here is gonna be anything like
America's food
what
system
diet.
is
Yeah,
something.
I mean, everything that we have to put in our food just to make it taste good to us.
So that's the last
Wow.
question I want to ask you before we end this podcast. Do you think the dietary system in our country is doomed since we've strayed so far from uh, biblical concepts, or we've gone more after the money aspect of it?
Is our food doomed?
Yes, our dietary system.
Depends on what you mean. Like, yeah, there's still ways to get clean food. Not well, yeah, clean.
It's
but
hard to, man, even our farmers, a lot of them just
yeah,
throw
I mean, you got
stuff
all
on
the stuff, all the what am I thinking of?
the chemicals and
Yeah, the chemicals like
to keep pesticides away and
yeah,
stuff.
that's the one that I was looking for.
Mm. Pesticides.
Pesticides on our foods and everything, like all our vegetables and everything, like the farmers. And then you got why can't I not think of words for meats and stuff?
I
Make it
don't
last longer.
I can't think of
You
the
know what
actual.
I'm thinking
Yes,
of.
they
Yeah,
package
that
it
stuff.
and
But anyways, like all that's gonna do all that. And then I mean you gotta think what is the animals that we're eating. I mean that's gonna affect it too. But there's still ways to get cleaner meat. But like fast food and everything, that's doomed. It's been doomed for forever.
I think we've
They trying to make a
normalized
dollar off of something.
It's you got to think like
People don't care about health and wellness anymore.
No.
And that I mean some people do, but some people, I mean, they're just trying to make a dollar. So
yeah.
but yeah, it's pretty much doomed.
Well, you leave it on a high note. I want to encourage all of y'all. I thank y'all for watching this. We thank y'all for watching this and staying with us. We ask that you continue to read your own Bible and
yeah, if you got something you want us to talk about, just throw it in the comments.
Absolutely,
We'll try to
man.
figure something out. I mean, we might not answer it the best way, but we're gonna try our best to.
But just from the questions we've asked, the genealogy, there's so much in the Bible that you can sit there and truly think about and ask yourself. It doesn't have to be something you dedicate your life to trying to figure out these questions, because some of them are not going to have answers till we are with Christ.
Just like a lot of the ones that you asked me today.
Yeah, but I encourage y'all to study your Bible and ponder these things. Make it be motivation to realize that through Genesis there is a lot to do with creation. I think we just barely broke the surface on it.
We really did. I mean,
never got
you
past the
gotta
flood.
see how thick this thing is.
Yes.
So there ain't no way we're gonna get through everything.
Yeah.
I mean, we could, but we'd be rushing it.
We'll
We'll never know it good enough to be like, okay, let's talk about everything.
We'll move with the Spirit and see where it leads us.
Mm-hmm.
But I thank y'all for being here again. I ask that if y'all are following along on Spotify, YouTube, wherever, you subscribe, follow us on this journey. You want to pray out again, or I can do it this time? It don't matter.
You got it this time.
Bow our heads. Everywhere's on the screen. Heavenly Father, thank you for letting us be here and discuss your word, discuss the creation that you have given us. Lord, I ask that you help us keep focused on you and your word, and help us to realize that you did all this for us out of love. Lord, I ask that there's anyone out there struggling to read their Bible, that you soften their heart, make it easier for them, help them to find motive, Lord, and help us to use your word to strengthen and forward our lives towards you. Lord, I thank you for all you've done. I say, forgive me my sins and the ways I fail you. In Jesus' holy name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I think that went
I
pretty
think that
good.
went pretty good.
I touched my mic.
I touched my mic.